Hello and welcome to the video blog on your Packer LinkUp. Tonight is Sunday night, September 7th of '08, and it's Sunday night, late at night, watching the Bears even as we speak. It's kind of sad to watch, but they are at this point taking care of the Indianapolis Colts and looking good. But we are not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Monday Night Football, 6 p.m. Central Time on ESPN. The reigning NFC North divisional champ, Green Bay Packers, coming up against the most hated rivals that we have. The Bears, they're the longest rivalry. They're the grit your teeth, but at some point they're the rivalry that requires a certain level of respect because they are a team that has won a Super Bowl at some point in their history. The Vikings, the only Super Bowl they'll ever play is against the Green Bay Packers. We hate the Vikings. And so we've got to beat the Vikings, and that means we've got to play the Vikings. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central, it all kicks off. Aaron Rodgers' first game as a starter during the regular season for the Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a big, big game. Remember last season we played the Vikings at Lambeau. We shut them out 34-0. That is the only time there's ever been a shutout in the series between the Vikings and the Packers. And so the expectations are very high for Packers fans, and I do want to maybe dull the edge of those expectations a little bit tonight by first of all talking about what we're up against. There is a very real possibility of this being a Packer disaster waiting to happen. And there are a lot of factors that go into this. Injuries on our side, this, that, the other thing. But I want to talk about some factors, two factors in particular, on the Minnesota Vikings, even though they are a team that we have relied on historically to absolutely blow it when it was absolutely necessary for them to win. There's a possibility that they may be working beyond that, blowing it, starting with an excellent running game. And that excellent running game is, I can in two letters tell you what it is, A-D. And it's all day. Adrian Peterson, don't ever let me hear you call him AP. He calls himself AD. Why does he call himself AD? Because he says he goes all day. Recall the last game we played against the Vikings. Al Harris came up, knocked AD on the knee. I believe he strained his MCL or something. Adrian Peterson did not play the rest of that game. Peterson gets stronger as the game goes on. Watch out for that. Add to that the fact that our defensive line, most of them are not in game shape right now. And a great running back who gets better as the game goes on against a defensive line that is decimated with injury. Even though Ryan Pickett is going to play, he will not be in game shape. Watch out what happens in the fourth quarter. Adrian Peterson may very well break 100 yards against us. He had about 11 last time. He will get 70-plus yards in this game. And he will possibly absolutely kill us toward the end of the game because of the way the season is setting up. So watch out for that. That's what we're up against. The other thing we're up against is the hired gun, as Packers.com says. Jared Allen, brought in by the Vikings in the offseason from Kansas City. He's going to get a sack at some point. As long as Aaron Rodgers can survive that, we might be okay. He's going to get his number. I hope he doesn't get numbers, but he is going up against Chad Clifton. Chad Clifton is a rock. He's going to play. Jared Allen is great, but Chad Clifton is going to play him as well as anybody in the league can. And we will just have to see what happens. It could get ugly, and it probably will be ugly a play or two, but I am very confident that Chad Clifton will move his feet, keep in position, keep Jared Allen at bay. I'm more concerned on the offensive side that AD is going to kick our buts. But that's not to say that if Chad Clifton starts having a little difficulty, we can't get help for him, that Jared Allen might not have a heyday too. So that's what we're up against. But here's what we've got going for us. It's only fair to balance it out. We are playing at Lambeau Field. Now, I put a bunch of question marks next to that because I am really not sure that that helps us anymore. Even last season, the last couple seasons, we've been better away than we are at home. We've got more of a chance to lose at Lambeau than on the road. I don't know if it's because the team draws together when they're on the road or what. But Mike McCarthy has talked about a Lambeau Field advantage, getting it back. He's done a lot of talking. I don't know that we've gotten it back. I don't know that with Aaron Rodgers starting his first game, his first regular season game, that he is going to be able to be in the kind of mindset that says, no, this is my turf. No one comes in here and beats me. I don't think he's at that point. I don't think Mike McCarthy can get him to that point. So Lambeau, but it's still home field. So we're not going to be dealing with the Metrodome. So it's going to be advantage Lambeau, advantage Green Bay. But it's not going to be the kind of advantage that we should be basking in when our team is playing at Lambeau Field. Another question mark is A.J. Hawk going to play? I think he will play, in which case it's a huge advantage for our run defense to have A.J. back in the lineup because Brandon Chiller did not do the same kind of job. We missed A.J. We missed Ryan Pickett. We also missed A.J. So these two guys, A.J.'s the only one. KGB's coming back. I think Pickett's back. But A.J.'s the one that I'm not sure he's going to play. It looks like it's going to be a game-time decision. Watch for him to get in the game as long as he doesn't have any major problems to play and make a big difference on our defense. Remember, our defense can be a top 10 defense if we're hitting on all cylinders. And so A.J. Hawk is going to be a big part of that. Next thing, okay, can our defensive line bring pressure? Well, we're still going to be in the advantage at Lambeau. But our pressure on the quarterback this year is not going to be just because of a straight four-man rush anymore. Except KGB, if he's looking good, if he's at the form he was during the season before he hurt his ankle last season, he may put some serious moves on a second stringer because McKinney is out for the Vikings, suspended for 4 games. It's player conduct issues, so he's not going to be there. So KGB may have a field day and may do fairly well, but I think our pressure on the quarterback this season, and I believe the Packers know this, it's going to depend more on Brady Papinga putting a hand down, acting more like a lineman, more blitzes from our linebacking core rather than just a straight pass rush. So if we can get some synergy between our defensive line and our linebacking core, we can still have a good pass rush if we can get everyone healthy. If not, we are not going to have a pass rush. Tavares Jackson, who is not a great passer, is going to roll out and not have to tuck the ball and run. He is able now, I've seen him in the preseason, to connect with receivers on the run. He's going to do that, and he's going to have more success than he should ever have at Lambeau Field. So we are hoping that the D-line can bring some pressure, that we will see some of these talked about stunts by our linebacking crew, and we will get some sacks and get Tavares Jackson, like we did last time, uncomfortable in the pocket. Give him the happy feet. Hey, if he wants to run, A.J. Hawk will run him down, or Brady Papinga will just flat out drive him to the turf.